Hello, people. It's Russ on F1 here again. I'm giving you my thoughts on the race weekend. Given that it's live this weekend from Barcelona. Today I'm in bed at the minute, watching the first practice session. It is normal. Um, so what's been happening so far? Well, there's been a lot of talk about the change between Daniel Kvyat and Max Verstappen. Um, they reckon um, it's although it's a demotion of Daniel Kvyat back to Toro Rosso. They reckon it's another chance to prove himself, given that Kvyat is not out of Formula One yet. Although I believe it's they are about to get rid of him next season because I can't see him coming back anyway. I also believe it has had something to do with the tracks that are coming up. And I believe it was always planned. I believe it was always planned from what I'm hearing now. Yeah. What else been happening? Well, the only other major thing that I've seen is that there was some smoke coming out of Paris's car. So I don't know what that is all about. Let's wait and see. In fact, during my two of my questions that I posted on my Razon of One Facebook page have been answered in a way, because apparently the Red Bull Racing personnel and the Toro Rosso personnel is contracted to Red Bull, so it's pretty easy for them to do the swap round with personnel, whereas according to Ben Edwards and Tony Dodgens, it's very unlikely that Ferrari is gonna do a similar thing, because they are, although the Haas team is having a close working relationship with Ferrari, they are still owned by separate people. So in fact, they are still two separate organizations. So it's very unlikely, apparently. Renault has swapped Julian Palmer for Esteban Ocon for this first practice session in Barcelona, by the way. Esteban Ocon is out the car with a problem that apparently cannot be resolved before the end of the session. Is it me, or is almost the entire paddock questioning the decision to swap Kvyat with Max Verstappen because they all reckon it's a harsh decision by Red Bull, and I'm also questioning whether it's what they're gonna do if Max Verstappen doesn't perform as expected. Are they gonna kick him out the Red Bull drivers program as well, or what? Well, I've had an idea about the tear-off things. Why don't they just, instead of doing the tear-off, visors, the tear-off visors, so why don't they just put windscreen wipers on to the windscreen wipers onto the visors, like the idea of the dragons, like the idea that was presented in Dragon's Den a couple of years ago. That was it, folks, for practice 1. I shall see you for practice 2, free practice 2 from Barcelona, and I will be at my computer then, because I'm getting up now. Unfortunately, I was in bed alone, in bed alone without a woman, so it was a bit boring. But at least I had at Lee Mackenzie to look at in places, so that was a bonus. But I'll see you later. Bye. Hello everybody, welcome back. It's Razon F1 here again, bringing you the second practice session, my thoughts on the second practice session of this weekend. So let's see what happens. Julian Palmer has a puncture. It just brought out the virtual safety car. Session has now been stopped. It's a red flag situation. Session has now been stopped due to the puncture of and the debris of Julian Palmer's car. And actually, I can just see now the whole car is being trained away. Jenson Button seems to have engine problems. He's just rolling down the hill into the pits now as we speak. Felipe Massa just got carried out onto the outside of the track as he was coming onto the start and finish straight. A comment that Lee just made about the Toro Rosso Carlos Sainz people, they apparently have had a conversation with Alpine Stars, the people that make the race overalls, and apparently Carlos Sainz ones have been boiled washed, so they've shrunk. So they are rushing some more out for this weekend. Apparently, I mean, that shows you that things can go wrong even in the organized world of Formula One. Julian Palmer has just revealed that the problem that Esteban Ocon had this morning was to do with the batteries, and he apparently also had a puncture, so that cleared that mystery up. just a thought on the Red Bull situation. I think they're not doing themselves any favors, really, by investing, having such a good drive. They've, in my opinion, they've got too many good drivers coming through the ranks into that program because, and you know, they could just, what's to stop them to they're just spoiled for choice, I reckon. And I reckon they take too many youngsters on and then just let drop them. I mean, the thing that let me explain what I mean in a bit more detail. Yeah, I mean, let's say Verstappen and Ricardo race for Red Bull senior team for the next 5 years. So and they've and the Toro Rosso team does the drivers do exactly such a good job that they decide to keep them. I mean, what's going to happen to the rest of them? I mean, ultimately, whoever is going to be in Toro Rosso is ultimately going to be dropped, aren't they? Because they've got nowhere. There's no way into the senior team, if you get my drift. So I think they need to stop actually putting taking too many young drivers on because they can't guarantee them that they're gonna end up on driving for Red Bull or Toro Rosso, because they just can't. They have there's good drivers already in it. What do you think? Let me know in the comments wherever you watch this, whether you watch it on my YouTube page or my Facebook page. All right. Good news for Jenson Button fans. McLaren have managed to get him out on track again, and it looks as though the same is going to be true for Julian Palmer, as he has his crash helmet on. So it looks pretty likely that he's going to get out before the end of the session. And Grosjean has just voiced his frustrations about that the car is not easy to drive. It has just been confirmed by Kimi Räikkönen that its rain is beginning to fall. So it just started raining. Lee has just asked Karun Chandok why he's never out in the pit lane when it rains. I can tell you, Lee, because Lee, you look much more. You look more attractive with wet clothes on than Karun Chandok does, I tell ya. So that's what I reckon. You're looking gorgeous, Lee. Can you tell that I have got the hot for Lee Mackenzie, everybody? That was it, guys, for second practice. It's completed now. So I saw, it ended up being Rosberg in first position, Raikkonen in second, Hamilton in third, Vettel in fourth, Sainz in fifth, and Ricciardo in sixth, Alonso in seventh, Verstappen in eighth, ninth is gone to Paris, Hülkenberg completes the top 10, Bottas 11th, Button 12th, Grosjean 13th, Magnussen 14th, Kvyat is in 15th, Massa a disappointing 16th, Palmer got it into 17th, and then it's 18th goes to Pascal Wehrlein, Haryanto is in 19th, Naza is in 20th, and Gutierrez is in 21st, and Ericsson is in 22nd. So that's the order after the end of second practice. So I see you. I either see you or give an audio version of the third practice, depending on whether I can get out of bed in time. But the qualifying I definitely do in front of the camera. All right. So thanks for watching, and goodbye. Thank you.